Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. Imagine stumbling across a common-looking coin in your drawer, a 101 piece from 1988. You might think it's just spare change. But what if I told you this ordinary coin could be hiding a story of rarity, historical value, and potential worth far beyond its face value? We're taking a deep dive into the 1988 South Korean 101 coin. We'll uncover its fascinating origins, explain what makes certain versions of this coin highly collectible, and examine how much it's worth in the modern numismatic market, especially in the year 2025. Stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind this small but significant piece of South Korea's monetary history. To understand the significance of the 1988 101 coin, we must first step back into the historical context of South Korea during the late 1980s. The year 1988 was monumental for South Korea. It marked a period of dramatic economic growth and international visibility. That year, South Korea hosted the Summer Olympics in Seoul, a global event that symbolized the country's transition from post-war recovery to industrial powerhouse. With this growing economic footprint came an increased demand for circulating currency, including coins. The 101 coin had already been in circulation since the early 1970s, replacing paper bills of the same denomination. By the 1980s, it had become one of the most widely used coins in everyday transactions. Minted in large numbers to meet public demand, the 1988 edition was struck using a copper-nickel composition, following the standard for the denomination at the time. However, not all coins from 1988 are created equal. Despite its high mintage, the 1988 101 coin is now considered by some collectors to be relatively scarce, especially in excellent condition. The 1988 101 coin features an iconic design that many South Koreans and collectors around the world recognize instantly. On the obverse of the coin, we see a striking portrait of Admiral Lee Sun-sin, a legendary Korean naval commander known for his victories against Japanese invaders during the late 16th century. His stoic expression and traditional armor make him one of the most distinguished figures in Korean numismatics. On the reverse side, the design is clean and minimal. The number 100 is prominently displayed in bold digits, representing the denomination. Beneath it, the year 1988 is inscribed in clear numerals, and above the denomination sits the Korean inscription for Republic of Korea. Notably, this coin lacks a mint mark, which was typical of Korean coins of the time. All 101 coins were struck at the Korea Minting and Security Printing Corporation, which did not place mint marks on circulating coinage. The technical specifications are as follows: diameter, 24 mm, weight, 5.42 grams, composition, copper-nickel edge. This combination of physical attributes and historical symbolism makes the coin both a functional currency and a piece of cultural heritage. First and foremost, while the coin was minted in large numbers, finding specimens in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition today is surprisingly difficult. Most of these coins were heavily used in everyday commerce, handled for decades, and exposed to environmental wear. As a result, truly pristine examples are scarce. Additionally, certain collectors believe there are subtle variations in the dyes used during the 1988 minting process. These include minor differences in numeral thickness, spacing, and facial detailing on Admiral E. While these varieties are not officially documented by all authorities, experienced collectors often seek out such anomalies, driving demand and prices higher for well-preserved or unique examples. The late 1980s also represent a turning point in Korean coinage, where the balance between traditional aesthetics and modern manufacturing reached its peak. The 1988 coin captures that equilibrium, making it a nostalgic and symbolic piece for many Koreans and Asian coin enthusiasts. If you have a heavily circulated example, the kind that shows clear signs of wear, loss of detail, and surface scratches, the value is often just slightly above face value. Typically, such coins are traded for between 10 cents and 50 cents on online platforms or in bulk coin lots. A coin in very fine or extra fine condition, with most design elements visible and minimal surface damage, can fetch between $1 to $2 depending on the buyer's interest and demand at the time. Uncirculated or mint state examples: coins that have never been used in circulation and retain their original mint luster, are significantly more desirable. These can range in value from $3 to $6, with some sellers asking even higher prices if the coin appears flawless under magnification. In certain numismatic circles, slabbed and graded coins from reputable grading agencies can command premium values. If a 1988 101 coin receives a high grade, such as MS 65 or above, it could sell for $10 or more, especially if accompanied by visual appeal, toning, or die variety. Market demand fluctuates, of course. Coin values are influenced by global interest in Korean collectibles, fluctuations in metal prices, and emerging trends in East Asian numismatics. But the overall trajectory of interest in Korean coins has been rising steadily, thanks to globalization and digital trading platforms. From a pure profit standpoint, this coin is not likely to make anyone rich overnight. However, as part of a broader strategy in collecting undervalued modern coins, the 1988 101 piece can be a smart addition. It represents a perfect blend of historical significance, attractive design, and low entry cost. For collectors who focus on building complete date sets or specialize in modern Asian coinage, this coin fills an essential gap. If you're considering collecting or investing in this coin, here are a few tips. Look for condition first. Prioritize coins with sharp details, original luster, and minimal wear. Store your coins properly. Use coin flips or acid-free holders to prevent corrosion and environmental damage. Buy from reputable dealers. Avoid coins with signs of cleaning or polishing, as these reduce long-term value. Consider certification. If you find a high-grade coin that seems exceptional, sending it for professional grading could boost its value. Collectors who act early can benefit from the rising global interest in Korean culture and history. As this continues, the coins that reflect Korea's economic and cultural rise, like the 1988 101, will only become more appreciated. So there you have it, the full story of the 1988 South Korean 101 coin. A coin that was once just another piece of change in a nation undergoing rapid transformation, now a collectible with growing interest across the world. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just beginning your coin collecting journey, the 1988 101 coin offers a unique combination of accessibility, historical depth, and long-term potential. Take a look through your coin jar or old travel souvenirs. Who knows? That small silver coin from 1988 might just be a valuable piece of history waiting to be rediscovered. This is the 1989 South Korean 101 coin. At first glance, it appears ordinary. But to coin collectors and numismatists, this little disc of metal holds stories of design, production, national pride, and unexpected value. Today, we'll take you on a journey through its history, design significance, production mysteries, rarity, collector insights, and most importantly, its market value in 2025. Let's uncover whether the 1989 101 coin is a hidden treasure, or simply a forgotten relic. To understand the 1989 101 coin, we must step back to the South Korea of the late 1980s. This was a time of immense transformation. The country was riding the wave of rapid industrialization and economic development known as the Miracle on the Han River. Following years of political change and economic advancement, the nation was preparing to host global events, including the 1988 Seoul Olympics just a year earlier. With a booming economy and growing population, the demand for currency surged. Everyday commerce required a durable, dependable coin for medium-sized transactions. The 101 coin filled that role. Introduced decades earlier, it had become a mainstay in South Korea's coinage system, commonly used for vending machines, public transportation, and street markets. The 1989 101 coin bears a design both artistic and patriotic. On the obverse, it features the profile of Admiral Lee Sun-sin, one of Korea's most revered naval commanders. Known for his legendary leadership during the Imjin War in the late 1500s, Lee symbolizes resilience, intelligence, and national pride. His image on the coin reflects South Korea's deep respect for historical heroes. The reverse side showcases the bold denomination, 100, written in clear numerals, with the word 1 beneath it in Hangul script. The date of issue, 1989, appears prominently. The simplicity and symmetry of the design make it instantly recognizable. The coin is round, made of a copper-nickel alloy, with a reeded edge and a light silver hue. It is worth noting that the 1989 issue bears no mint mark, which was standard for South Korean coinage at the time. This design consistency adds to the coin's recognizability but has also led to myths and confusion among new collectors about potential rarities or no mint mark errors, which we will clarify later. The year 1989 saw a substantial minting of the 101 coin. At the time, this coin was vital for everyday commerce, and the government produced hundreds of millions to keep pace with demand. These coins entered daily circulation almost immediately, traveling through shops, buses, schools, and homes. Because they were used so frequently, very few were set aside in pristine condition. Most suffered the wear and tear of decades of handling. As a result, while the coin is common in lower grades, higher quality specimens, particularly those that are uncirculated or nearly so, are much scarcer than the total mintage might suggest. A common misconception among novice collectors is the idea that a 1989 101 coin without a mint mark is somehow rare or valuable due to a minting error. In reality, South Korean 101 coins during this period were not produced with visible mint marks at all. Therefore, a no mint mark 1989 101 coin is not an error or variant. It is simply the standard issue. This confusion often arises because collectors from countries like the United States, where mint marks are standard, expect similar practices across all nations. So, if you have a 1989 coin with no mint mark, rest assured, it is perfectly normal. The rarity of this coin does not lie in a missing mark but rather in its condition. In the numismatic world, rarity is not just about quantity. It's about availability in desirable condition. And this is where the 1989 101 coin gains traction. While millions were minted, the number of coins preserved in mint or uncirculated condition is extremely low. Most people did not consider this coin collectible when it was issued. As a result, few were set aside in protective holders. Those that do survive in high grade are now increasingly sought after by both South Korean collectors and global numismatists. Coins with bright luster, no contact marks, and sharp edges can fetch a premium. Collectors particularly prize coins that grade above uncirculated or higher. Coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated can command significantly more, especially in today's growing Asian coin market. As of 2025, the value of the 1989 101 coin varies dramatically depending on its condition. In well-worn condition, typically labeled as good to fine, these coins generally sell for their face value or slightly above it. They're common, and their value to collectors is minimal. In better preserved condition, such as very fine to extremely fine, they may attract modest interest. These can sell for a small premium over face value, particularly among collectors looking to complete year sets. In almost uncirculated or uncirculated condition, the coin becomes far more attractive. Prices in this grade range can rise significantly, with collectors sometimes paying $10 to $20 or more for specimens that display full mint luster and minimal wear. Truly pristine examples, those graded mint state 65 or higher by professional grading companies, can command prices upwards of $30 to $40, depending on the eye appeal, toning, and market interest at the time of sale. Rare anomalies, such as double strikes or other production errors from the same year, if authenticated, could be worth even more, although no significant known errors from 1989 have surfaced in mainstream markets. If you are a coin collector or investor looking to identify potential gems in your collection, here are a few key tips regarding the 1989 101 coin. First, inspect the condition. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. A bright, uncirculated surface is always preferable. Second, consider professional grading. A graded coin not only provides a trusted quality assessment but also increases buyer confidence and resale potential. Third, store your coin properly. Use a non-PVC coin flip or a hard plastic holder to protect it from oxidation, scratches, and humidity. Finally, stay informed. The numismatic market is always evolving. As South Korean coins continue to gain international interest, values may rise, especially for well-preserved coins from the 1980s and 1990s. The 1989 101 coin may not seem extraordinary at first glance. But behind its simple metallic surface lies a rich history, a story of a nation growing rapidly, of a cultural hero immortalized in metal, and of the quiet emergence of a collector's item. Whether you found this coin tucked away in an old drawer, received it as change during a trip to Korea, or discovered it in a family collection, take a second look. Its value may be more than monetary. It is a window into a transformative era, a snapshot of a nation's journey, and for some collectors, a cherished piece of a larger puzzle. The 1995 South Korean 101 coin, notable for its clean design, lack of a mint mark, and increasing curiosity among collectors. Whether you're a seasoned coin investor, a casual enthusiast, or someone just intrigued by the rich culture behind everyday currency, this video is for you. In this episode, we'll explore the full history, design significance, mintage details, production quirks, collector interest, market trends, and the current 2025 market value of this intriguing coin. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, settle in, and let's go on a journey through one of South Korea's most talked about mid-90s coinage releases. By 1995, South Korea had established itself as one of Asia's fastest-growing economies. It was a time of rapid industrialization, digital innovation, and a surge of national pride. Currency served not just as a medium of exchange, but also as a medium of identity, commemorating important figures and reinforcing historical narratives. The 101 coin is a prime example of this. The obverse of the coin features Admiral Lee Sun-sin, one of the most revered military heroes in Korean history. Admiral Lee was a 16th-century naval commander who defended the Korean peninsula against multiple Japanese invasions using his revolutionary turtle ships. His leadership and unwavering patriotism made him a symbol of resistance and resilience, values that resonated deeply in 1990s Korea. The reverse of the coin is clean and minimalistic, featuring the denomination 100, the issuing country's name written in Hangul, and the year of minting, 1995 in this case. The lack of a mint mark, which is typical of most South Korean coins of that era, has become a point of interest among modern collectors. Let's now take a closer look at the physical features of this iconic coin. The 101 coin from 1995 is struck in a copper-nickel alloy, which gives it a bright silver-like finish that is resistant to corrosion. It has a diameter of 24 mm, a thickness of about 1.7 mm, and weighs approximately 5.42 grams. Its edge is reeded, not smooth, giving it a tactile quality that distinguishes it from lower denominations. The reeded edge also helps to prevent counterfeiting and makes it easier for visually impaired individuals to distinguish denominations by touch. The portrait of Admiral E is finely detailed, showing him in traditional military armor with a commanding expression. His depiction is both artistic and respectful, reflecting his status as a national icon. The design has remained virtually unchanged since its introduction in the early 1980s, and that consistency has made the 101 coin one of the most recognizable pieces of currency in South Korea. When it comes to rarity, much of the intrigue surrounding the 1995 101 coin lies in its mintage figures and circulation pattern. In that year, the coin was produced in large quantities, as South Korea's economy was thriving, and demand for circulating coinage remained high. Tens of millions of pieces were struck and distributed across the country. However, the majority of these coins entered circulation and were subjected to regular wear and tear. As a result, while the overall mintage numbers may appear high, the number of coins that remain in excellent or uncirculated condition is significantly lower. This makes high-grade examples more desirable for collectors, especially those that remain unblemished, untarnished, and unhandled. Another factor that adds to the curiosity is the lack of a mint mark. While this was standard practice for South Korean coins, many collectors find it unusual from a Western numismatic perspective, where mint marks often denote location and rarity. The absence of this detail leads many to speculate about the location of the minting facility and whether any subtle die variations exist among the 1995 coins, creating further subcategories of rarity. Although the 1995 101 coin is not considered rare in absolute numbers, its appeal lies in several key areas. First, it occupies a nostalgic space for many South Koreans who grew up during the 1990s. For them, this coin represents a formative time in the nation's history, economically, politically, and culturally. Second, the Admiral E design has become a collector's favorite, and many numismatists seek to complete year-by-year sets of 101 coins featuring him. For these collectors, the 1995 coin is an essential part of that timeline. Those who focus on condition grading pay close attention to mint luster, strike sharpness, and the presence or absence of contact marks. Third, as South Korea gains more attention from the global numismatic community, especially due to the rise of K-culture, international collectors are becoming increasingly interested in Korean coins. This demand has created upward pressure on prices for well-preserved coins, even from relatively common years like 1995. Coins in average circulated condition typically sell for very modest amounts, often ranging between the face value of 101 up to the equivalent of about $1, depending on the platform and buyer. However, uncirculated coins, especially those that are graded and encapsulated by professional grading services, can command significantly higher premiums. In mint state conditions, particularly in MS65 or higher, the 1995 101 coin can fetch anywhere from $3 to $5 or more, depending on demand at the time of sale. Coins with exceptional eye appeal, bright luster, and zero wear may attract even higher bids from collectors trying to complete their Admiral E sets in pristine condition. If a coin exhibits any unusual die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubling errors, although these are extremely rare, it could sell for a much higher value, even into the double digits. For bulk sellers or dealers, rolls of uncirculated 1995 101 coins can offer decent resale margins if broken down and sold individually to global collectors. Marketplaces such as online auctions, coin fairs, and international expos often see moderate but steady interest in these coins, especially from non-Korean collectors exploring Asian coinage for the first time. Looking forward, the value of the 1995 101 coin is expected to remain relatively stable, with slight increases driven by the growing popularity of South Korean collectibles worldwide. While it may never reach the level of high-tier investment coins, It serves as an affordable entry point into the world of Asian numismatics. Its historical theme, iconic design, and clean production make it a wonderful educational tool and collector's item. Those holding multiple specimens in uncirculated condition may want to consider grading and preserving them, especially as global demand for well-maintained foreign coinage continues to rise. And that wraps up our comprehensive look at the 1995 South Korean 101 coin. We've uncovered its history, explored its design, analyzed its market value, and even speculated on its future. Whether you have this coin sitting in a drawer or you're considering adding it to your collection, now you know exactly what makes it so special. The 1993 no-mint mark South Korean 101 coin. Is it rare? Is it valuable? What makes this specific year stand out? And more importantly, could it be worth a small fortune today in 2025? Stay with me as we uncover the full story behind this intriguing modern coin. The 101 coin is one of the most recognized and circulated denominations in South Korea. Introduced in its modern form in 1983, the design has remained largely unchanged throughout the decades. At the center of the obverse stands a proud depiction of one of Korea's greatest historical figures, Admiral Lee Sun-sin, the legendary naval commander known for his victories during the Imjin War in the 16th century. His stern profile on the coin reflects strength, patriotism, and Korean resilience. Now, let's talk about 1993. This year marked a transitional period for South Korea both politically and economically. The country was becoming a significant player in global markets, technology was booming, and the need for efficient currency production was at an all-time high. As part of the regular mintage, the 101 coin continued into that year, but with some nuances that have since caught the attention of collectors. What makes the 1993 issue notable isn't a design change or metal composition, it's the absence of a mint mark, which has raised questions over the years. In truth, South Korean coins typically do not carry mint marks, especially modern circulating issues, and 1993 followed that pattern. However, because of a growing global awareness of mint mark significance in numismatics, the 1993 no-mint mark 101 coin has become a point of curiosity for international collectors, particularly those in North America and Europe who are more accustomed to mint-marked coins. Obverse, the face of Admiral Lee Sun-sin, with sharp lines defining his helmet and beard. The design is minimalistic but powerful, a testament to the dignity of Korea's naval hero. Reverse, the denomination, 100, is prominently placed in the center, flanked by the words, Bank of Korea, written in Hangul above, and the year of issue, 1993, displayed clearly at the bottom. Composition. The coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it durability and a bright silver hue. Diameter, approximately 24 mm. Weight, about 5.42 grams. Edge, reeded or milled, providing both anti-counterfeit properties and tactile feedback. While the physical characteristics remained consistent with other years, collectors noticed that some 1993 coins appeared to be struck with exceptional sharpness or had an unusually clean strike, leading to the idea that some batches may have been produced with newly refreshed dies. In terms of raw numbers, no, it isn't. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation in 1993. It was a standard production year, with no reported errors or major variations officially recognized by the Bank of Korea. However, in the world of numismatics, rarity is not always defined by quantity alone. Condition, demand, and regional collector interest all play major roles in assigning value. Many 1993 coins were heavily circulated, making high-grade examples less common today. Uncirculated or mint-state coins from this year, especially those with strong luster and no contact marks, are considerably harder to come by. Furthermore, for Korean coin collectors, building complete date sets is an important goal. This puts additional demand on certain years that may otherwise seem ordinary. The 1993 issue, being over 3 decades old in 2025, has reached a kind of collectible maturity, making it attractive for those completing sets or investing in historical coins from the post-war Korean era. With all collectible coins, value depends heavily on condition. Here's a general idea of what the 1993 101 coin might be worth today: circulated, good to very fine in average circulated condition. Most 1993 coins are worth face value or a little more, between 10 cents to 50 cents USD on the international market. While not a windfall, that's still more than their monetary face value in some cases. Extremely fine, XF if the details are sharp and the coin has minimal wear, the value could rise to $1 to $3 USD. About uncirculated, AU coins showing only traces of wear, particularly around the highest points, might fetch $3 to $7. Uncirculated UNC in mint state condition with no wear and full original luster, the coin may be valued between $10 and $15, especially if it's slabbed by a professional grading service. Proof-like or error specimens. While no official proofs were issued for circulation, any coin with a mirror-like surface, double strikes, or off-center minting could be worth significantly more, depending on collector interest. The market for Korean coins has seen steady growth, particularly among younger collectors and overseas enthusiasts. This has pushed demand higher, even for modern-era coins like the 1993 101. First, it is a bridge between generations. It represents a stable economic era for South Korea and reflects the country's industrial and cultural growth in the early 1990s. Second, it honors Admiral Lee Sun-sin, an enduring symbol of Korean heroism. For collectors, having a coin with his likeness is a meaningful addition to any East Asian or world history coin collection. And finally, even though it's not exceedingly rare, the challenge lies in finding one in top condition. Most examples were handled, used, and exposed to the elements. Discovering a coin that has survived 3 decades in pristine form is both satisfying and potentially rewarding. So, is the 1993 no-mint mark South Korean 101 coin a treasure? For most, it's a common coin. But for those who value history, national pride, and the thrill of building a collection, it's a meaningful piece worth holding onto. If you have one, take a moment to examine its condition. It might not buy you a new car, but it could earn a place of honor in your collection, or even a few extra dollars if you're lucky. We're talking about the 2008 South Korean 101 coin, specifically, the no-mint mark variety. Is it rare? Is it valuable? Why is there no mint mark at all? And how much is this coin worth in 2025? Settle in, because today we're unpacking the full story behind this modern Korean coin: its design, origin, mintage numbers, historical context, collectability, and its true market value today. Whether you're holding this coin in your hand or just curious about modern Asian coinage, this video will give you everything you need to know. The 101 coin has been a staple of South Korean currency since it was first introduced in 1970. It replaced the 100 won note and was minted to accommodate a growing need for durable and portable denominations in a rapidly developing South Korean economy. The design of the 101 coin underwent a significant transformation in 1983, when it adopted the now iconic depiction of Admiral Lee Sun-sin, a Korean naval commander known for his victories against Japanese invasions in the late 16th century. Admiral Lee is widely celebrated in Korean culture and represents resilience, intelligence, and strategic mastery. From 1983 onward, the 101 coin has remained largely consistent in design, featuring Admiral Lee on the obverse and the denomination on the reverse, along with the year of minting and the inscription of the Bank of Korea. Over the years, slight adjustments in mintage, alloy composition, and quality control have been observed, but for the average user, the appearance has remained familiar and reliable. Unlike some coinage systems around the world, South Korean coins generally do not carry explicit mint marks indicating where they were struck. The 101 coins, including those minted in 2008, follow this convention. So when we refer to a 2008 no mint mark coin, we are not referring to an error or a missing mark, we are referring to a standard feature of South Korean coins. However, what makes the 2008 issue unique is the sheer volume in which it was minted, combined with the growing interest from collectors worldwide who began seeking complete year-by-year sets. Despite its ordinary appearance, the 2008 coin began to be viewed as a key date for some collectors attempting to acquire every year of issue, especially those in high-grade condition. The 2008 101 coin was produced in large numbers, as South Korea maintained a stable currency circulation and economic growth during this period. As such, the 2008 coin is not considered rare from a mintage perspective. Hundreds of millions of pieces were released into general circulation. Most of these coins experienced heavy usage, as the 101 remains a functional denomination in South Korea, roughly equivalent to a few US cents. The coin is commonly used in vending machines, parking meters, convenience stores, and more. However, what makes the coin somewhat interesting from a collector's point of view is not scarcity in the traditional sense, but condition. Coins that have circulated are typically found with nicks, scratches, and dulling. High-grade examples, especially those that are uncirculated or mint state, are far more difficult to obtain, not because they were never made, but because few were preserved in pristine condition. So, while the 2008 101 coin is not rare in numbers, it is somewhat scarce in top-quality condition, particularly outside of South Korea. The coin itself is struck in a copper-nickel alloy, giving it a silver-like appearance and a solid feel. It weighs approximately 5.42 grams and has a diameter of 24 millimeters. The edge is reeded, and the coin is relatively resistant to wear and tear. On the obverse, Admiral Yi Sun-sin stands prominently, his facial features etched in fine detail, conveying strength and dignity. His image is flanked by the denomination expressed in Korean characters. The reverse of the coin includes the Arabic numeral 100, representing the denomination in won. Above this number, the words Bank of Korea appear in Korean, and beneath it, the date of minting, 2008, is clearly visible. The coin carries no visible mint mark. In line with standard South Korean minting practices, why would someone want to collect a 2008 101 coin? In truth, most casual collectors might not see the appeal. It is a modern, circulating coin, still in use today, and available in large quantities. However, as numismatics continues to grow globally, many collectors aim to build full sets of coins from various countries. For those focused on South Korean currency, the 101 series offers an accessible and visually consistent set of coins to collect. In this context, every year of issue becomes important. The 2008 coin, while not more valuable than others in circulated condition, holds its place in completing a chronological set. Additionally, because relatively few people saved uncirculated examples of modern coins in the early 2000s, high-grade specimens are now commanding attention. Coin dealers and grading services have begun to offer certified mint-state versions of this coin, graded on the internationally recognized Sheldon scale. Coins that achieve grades of MS 65 or higher, meaning they have no wear and only minimal contact marks, are often sold at a premium, not because of intrinsic rarity, but due to condition scarcity. If you're holding a well-circulated coin, its value is generally equal to its face value in South Korea, which is 101, roughly 8 to 10 US cents depending on the exchange rate. In circulated condition, these coins typically sell for little more than face value on the collector's market. You might find listings ranging from 10 to 20 cents a piece, especially in bulk. However, if your coin is in uncirculated condition, the value increases. Uncirculated examples might sell for anywhere between 50 cents to $2, depending on visual quality and buyer demand. Certified, professionally graded specimens in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 65 and above, can fetch even higher prices. These might range anywhere from $5 to $15 or more, particularly if sold through collectible coin dealers or at online auctions. Keep in mind that premiums often reflect grading and certification costs, as well as presentation quality. While these values don't compare to the high-end coin market, for a modern circulating coin, this represents respectable appreciation for those who took the time to preserve them in mint condition. If the coin is heavily circulated or worn, it is unlikely to increase significantly in value. It may be worth keeping as part of a larger collection, especially if you are building a year-by-year Korean coin set. If you have a high-grade version, or better yet, an uncirculated one in original mint packaging or slabbed by a grading service, it might be worth listing it on collector marketplaces or keeping it as a long-term collectible. For those traveling to Korea or residing there, the coin still holds spending power and can be used in daily transactions. Though modern electronic payments continue to reduce the use of physical coins. To conclude, the 2008 No Mint Mark South Korean 101 coin is not a rare treasure hiding in plain sight, but it is a solid representation of a stable, modern economy and a coin with historical and cultural significance. Its design celebrates a national hero, its production reflects South Korea's economic continuity, and its presence in collections around the world shows the global reach of modern numismatics. While its value may not break records, its story adds depth to any collection and provides insight into South Korean currency design and policy. If you have one, appreciate it. If you find one in mint condition, consider protecting it. And if you're building a full-year Korean coin set, this piece is an essential part of the puzzle. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Do you collect modern Asian coins, or do you focus more on historical pieces? Let us know your thoughts, and stay tuned for more numismatic deep dives.